Welcome, everyone, to the Galileo K-12 online webinar series, Discover the Powerful Galileo Digital Curriculum Platform. Assessment Technology Incorporating will be hosting regular webinars to introduce you to our instructional improvement and effectiveness system. These series of webinars will include demonstrations of technology that enables you to rapidly build, disseminate, and implement your own local digital curriculum online. Technology created for our comprehensive assessment system that enables you to use assessment data to both inform instruction and adjust your curriculum. Questions will be saved for the end. The webinar is being recorded and all participants will receive a link to access this recording. My name is Stephen LaFrance and I am one of the Field Service Coordinators at Assessment Technology Incorporated. ATI is a Tucson-based company which was founded back in 1986. We are fortunate to work with hundreds of school districts and charters around the nation, from Massachusetts to Hawaii. In today's presentation, we will provide an overview of the robust features of our digital curriculum platform through units currently in use and created by our clients. Galileo supports the creation of instructional units using new or existing content, instructional materials, and assessment. The digital curriculum platform is available at no additional cost to current clients using Galileo K-12 Online. Other presentations are available on the Galileo K-12 resource section of the ATI online web page, which focus on the construction of units as well as other topics. Today's presentation will focus on how the current tools are being used through client-created unit plans and how these tools may support your needs. Some of the key features that the Galileo K-12 Digital Curriculum Platform design supports are the creation of common expectations in designing high-quality curriculum units. Here are a few common expectations. Is the unit aligned with standards, objectives, and guidelines? By design, users are asked to align content to standards, and I'll demonstrate that once we get into the system. Is there a balance of teaching and learning strategies? Are tasks authentic? Do they engage and meet the needs of diverse learners? The system provides resources at a variety of levels to support the design of content-rich, vibrant content. Are the activities sequenced appropriately? Educators can easily create their content within Galileo's robust system and have the flexibility to revise and adjust sequencing and content at any point. Do the formative and summative assessments measure the knowledge and skills identified in the objectives? Galileo's IRT-based research and extensive standards-aligned item bank support authentic evaluation of student understanding. We want to thank our client partners for use of their digital content. We'd like to thank the Crane Elementary School District and the Harrison School District No. 2. From the demonstration here, you'll see some screenshots before we go into the live system, where you can see that within the tool, we guide users to identify their standards on a separate tab that allows them to choose them from a list of preloaded standards for any given state and content area. In the slide here, this client has chosen to also make sure it's front and center within the unit information area. Because one size doesn't fit all, we'll see here in this screenshot that this client has identified their standards up in the front area, and they've also put it in the title of the unit. So now we're going to go into the system. We're going to look at these units as created by our clients. When a user comes in to build their digital curriculum, they give it a name, they identify a grade level, subject areas, and then they can type in descriptions. Each unit can be as long or as short as the client chooses. And you can see here in the unit title, for this specific one, they've identified the standard. They've given a description of the unit, and they also embedded the standard. And then they can put their content down here below. Galileo's flexible platform allows you to add as many slides within the presentation to describe, to share information, to allow you the ability to have extensive external resources, and to embed images, videos, and other types of content that would help explain a topic so that teachers could design appropriate lessons. As I said, the standards are preloaded into the system, So we can pick a particular state, choose a grade and content area, and then drag these standards over to the one selected for the unit. Today's session is not to talk about how to actually build these, but to show you how it is being used out in the field. A couple of screenshots and information about the way we identify standards within the platform and how you can choose how it appears to meet your unique needs. You can see on here that this client has identified the standard within the unit info page, but also on another page they'll identify standards directly and tie them to resources. This client's identified all of them up front and just uses a slightly different format, and also put in the title of the unit the standards that are in play. Now let's go into the system and look at their content live. Within the system, there's a setup page that allows a user to identify the title of their specific unit. In this case, they've identified it by grade level, content area, year, and time of year or segment of the year into units or quarters. And they could put descriptions in here. They have the ability to insert images, videos, upload files, tables, and there's a variety of tools embedded within our text editor. After you've done the setup and identified what it is that you're covering and given the unit a title, you can go in and add as many units as you see fit. Within Galileo, we see that there's a unit title that appears in the sequencing, a description of that unit, and then you have a robust text editor here that allows you to bring in images, type in text, spell check, adjust the size, fonts, and layout. And you can add as many of these as your unit would require. And you can come down and add the slides to your unit. So you have a main section and then subsections. The system allows you to order these as you see fit, so the sequencing can be adjusted on the fly. Again, you can add and delete slides and create as many as you need. You can also set the unit to appear full page width, or this segment to be full page, or create half pages. We're going to go a little bit into the resources and the types of materials you can bring to bear within the Galileo system for adding resources. But I wanted to show you the format and layout of these pages. Galileo has a preview right up here at the top of the unit that we've selected. And we can see the full layout, where we have some items that are full page across, and other ones that they've chosen to segment in half pages. We can see here where they've linked to an outside resource. And the titling areas can include standards or not, and you can have as many of these as your unit would require. We've seen they've embedded some graphics. And we can see here this unit is printable. We can also toggle over and see the standards. We can look for resources and materials that have been attached to this already. So we see, based on the standard, they've attached a couple of materials for teachers to use when they're building their lessons. And then you can see if there are any assessments tied to these units. You can tie formatives or benchmarks to your units for future use. Now we're going to go to the materials area. I want to show you something that gives this a capability beyond itself. It allows us to be able to create resources and search the web for anything based on a standard or based on certain key phrases. So we can search based on our existing standards we've identified, and it'll search the Galileo system to see what resources are already within Galileo that can be assigned and brought to bear. We can see a variety of Khan Academy resources, Galileo dialogues. We see the organization is already identified. They've got some PDFs. There's some Engage New York resources that we've embedded in there for use by our clients. And any of these can be brought in and assigned very easily by just bringing them over and just clicking on them. And they will immediately populate over here on the resources. We can also create new resources. And we can search the web to do that. So we can take one of our standards, recognize multi-digit whole numbers. And this will search the World Wide Web, finding additional resources, providing you with an almost infinite number of resources that you could bring into your units. And once you add these resources to your libraries, they'll show up in your standard searches because you've now identified this resource as something you want in your resource library. And just by selecting it, it'll be added to the unit, but also be in a library of your resources for future use. With assessments, libraries are identified, and if there was a benchmark or a resource that you wanted to utilize, you just add it to your assessment plan. Once you've completed working on your unit, you can go to the status area. Once you've published it, it can be scheduled, but it still can be edited because curriculum is dynamic. And utilizing your assessment data to guide instruction allows the more effective use of time that teachers have. So you could come in here and add additional resources as they became available, or adjust your units and change and alter sequencing as you see fit. Now we're going to bring over another organization's approach to this. And we see how Harrison School District 2 is utilizing our system. And since we've already looked at all of the tools, we're just going to go in and preview the unit. Again, you see half page and full page, standards identified out front. Again, we see graphics utilized to help explain different parts of the content. And I did pick a different grade level. And we see they've embedded some resources from the web. One of the wonderful parts of this is that as time goes on, your organization finds out the best way to relay information to their particular students, and they go through a process of owning the content. And as they hone their skills, the digital content becomes their own. So both organizations have wonderful content here available for us to see. And not to slight Harrison, they have wonderful stuff here, but since I did the demonstration of how to view the content through Cranes, wanted to make sure I gave you an opportunity to see some of their other units as we come to a close here. One of the key points is we do not tell you a client how to do this. We merely give them the tools by which to do them. And we try to set a construct that allows you to be successful even just using the basic tools.